on. Okay, there we go. All right, so welcome again to Align Design. If you haven't taken this class before, this class is all about just recalibrating, making sure that our time is aligned with what our biggest values are and what's really, really most important to us. It's really just about looking at, where are we growing? Where do we need to change some things? Where do we want to add some things into our life? And where do we want to take some things away, right? That's just like designing our life. So this quote that we're going to be starting with today is by Nick Stone. I think it's very, very appropriate for this class. Let me share. So it says, going through something new means you have to abandon, for a little while at least, the familiar and the comforting. I happen to like this feeling. I remind myself that tomorrow I will be someone who did not exist yesterday. I love that last part. I remind myself that tomorrow I will be someone who did not exist yesterday, right? Because we go through so many experiences in life, and whether we realize it or not, we are a different person after that experience than we were before that experience. And I can definitely, this is so deeply on my mind right now just because of this accident that I had 2 months ago, that I'm not the person that I was before that accident, right? And it's been such an incredible blessing when you see something good that can come out of something that would otherwise be bad, right? It's just been like the most incredible 2 months of resting, of reading, of listening to audiobooks nonstop, of learning how to recover, and just being showered in love. And you just realize how precious life is, how you want to just appreciate everything that you have, your health especially. And so our experiences really, really shape us. So the question that we're going to be diving into to start, thank you, Dee, is what are 2 or 3 new things that you have gone through this year that you were a different person after because of that experience, however big or small? It could be a promotion, it could be a move, it could be a new hobby you took on, it could be a baby that you gave birth to, it could be a new friendship or the end of one, it could be a movie or a documentary that you saw. But what are 2 or 3 new things that you have been through this year or that you experienced this year that made you a different person than you were before it? And then maybe share a little bit about what is it that changed in you, right? So for example, if it's a promotion, maybe you learned how to, lead a team and how to be more organized. If it was a move, maybe you learned how to try new things in a different city that you'd never been to before. Maybe you took up a new hobby like painting or ceramics or something like that, right? And then explain a little bit about how it actually shaped you and made you a different person after that experience. So let me put some music on. And remember to take deep breaths. Maybe the deepest breath that you've taken all day. All right. If you're still writing, keep writing. Feel free to share in the chat whenever you're ready. What's something that shaped you in some way? That you're a different person before than you were after? Pam says becoming a grandparent. Anna says saying goodbye to my childhood home. Danica says definitely becoming a mother of two. Sunny is a total joy, but the lack of time alone or self-care or even a minute to find some mental clarity is a challenge. So grateful, but it definitely stretches me. Ay, ay, ay. I can imagine. Oh, I can't wait to be a mom. And he says, having my second daughter, Quinn, I'm emotional because she turns 1 at the end of the month. Introducing her into our family and caretaking 2 small children has broken me open in the best and hardest way possible. There's so many things I've had to prune. Shout out Danica's class a few weeks ago because they no longer were sustainable or served me in the mother and the person I wanted to be. Oof, it's been a hard year, but so beautiful too. Thank you, Quinn, for being my little catalyst for so many shifts. Oh, that's beautiful. Hmm. Octavia says conferences. I attended conferences where I was blessed to share my research and be the expert in the room. So it was a reminder that I have a gift that people want to hear. Documentary. I watched a documentary, one of my favorite poets, and was shocked to hear my voice captured on audio and featured. What? That's epic. It was a full circle moment confirming I'm meant to be doing this work. Octavia, that's beautiful. Wendy says, my husband's major heart attack and recovery, really grateful to still have our life together. Totally, right? It's like, after I had my accident, I was like, wow, when you have such a close brush with death, your perspective on everything changes. Really, really, really. You realize that like we are here because we're meant to be here, right? Like it's crazy. Like you really, really just appreciate the gift of life so much more. Forgive the dogs barking in the background. Noelle says, getting my diagnosis of depression has helped me so much with reframing things in this season. Also has helped me seeking support in new ways. Yeah, 100%. We love you, Noelle. Carrie says, my weekend with my youngest Ray 2 weeks ago and realizing how far I've come since 2020 in my journey of leading and loving with connection and not control. Yes, Carrie, I remember the first time that you wrote that very phrase in the chat, I don't know, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And I remember you said, I want to learn how to, focus on connection instead of control. And everyone was like, oh, that's so good. I'm going to use that phrase as well. And so you inspired all of us with that. Jesse says, I was diagnosed with celiac disease and have felt mixed emotions. It sounds silly, but grieving my favorite foods I can't eat anymore and all the foods I wanted to try when traveling, but then grateful for health answers and the ability to explore new foods. 100%. I remember, like I have 2 best friends in Madrid who both had celiac, and after a few years, like it disappeared. So you really, really never know. Sometimes these things are there to, teach us something and really, really just change our perspective and also increase our, health and our mindfulness when it comes to eating and nourishing our bodies and taking care of us. So, really, really, you can find the blessing in anything. And we're here to support you. And you're not alone. I also had like a gluten and lactose intolerance for several years. So, all right, Mackenzie, I noticed that in the last year, the things that changed me were hard things that I chose me in some way. Ending relationships that broke my heart, but also set me free, starting a new hobby that had reignited a creative energy that has been dormant. This is all following 2 years of really hard things that I didn't choose. It feels good to be choosing me now. That is such a perfect segue to our next exercise. Oh, yeah. All right. Meg says, putting together my first women's empowerment event, being a speaker, really getting outside my comfort zone. Amen to that. Esther says, hi, Esther. Relaxed Money Live, met some awesome friends, new and old, made me realize how important it is to surround myself with people who will support and help me thrive and be open to possibilities. Guys, I miss you so much. This is so amazing. Oh, my connection cup is overflowing right now. Like the beauty of all of humanity, of all of mankind, of life experiences is just like reflected in everything that we're experiencing, that we're sharing, that we're bonding over. Oh, it's just beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So I want to make sure that we have enough time for all our exercises, but I just miss you all so much that I wanted to read everything in the chat. So the next thing is basically, without even trying, life shapes us, right? Sometimes it's our own decision and sometimes it's not our own decision. I did not plan what happened to me 2 months ago, right? Like someone accidentally bumped into me and I hit the ground and I was concussed for 5 hours and I woke up in the hospital with a broken clavicle and I had no idea what happened, right? And so some things we really, really do not decide. And yet often at the end of them, we realize that they were for our good, that they were for our benefit, that something good came out of it, that, life works in mysterious ways, but incredible blessings are wrapped up in the things that we would least expect. So considering we have that, we also have the freedom and agency to choose things in our life, right? We also have the ability to choose what will shape us. There are things that are in our control and in our influence. There are things that we can be proactive about. So what do you want to choose to do that will shape you, right? And we're going to fill in the following blanks. I want to explore ... I want to make time for ... I want to focus on ... I want to try out blank, or I want to take a leap by doing XYZ, right? So we're focusing on what are things that we actually do have control over that can shape us, that can enrich our lives, that can impact our lives. I'm going to share a few examples. So for example, to explore doing improv classes, to make time for hosting an all-women's prayer group at my home, to focus on rebuilding my muscles since the accident, to try out kite surfing classes when the wind picks up after summer, right? All these things that we can choose to do, that we have the freedom to do, that can truly shape us, shape our character, shape our perspective on life, embellish us, right? So we'll spend the next couple of minutes diving into this question. And remember to keep taking deep, nourishing breaths. right, if you're still writing, keep writing. Take your time. Galina says, explore new ways to keep building up my physical and mental strength. Mackenzie says, I want to explore this island and the surrounding islands. I want to find land I can purchase and settle into. I want to make time for hiking and working out. I want to focus on joy, play, creation, and connection. I want to try out new adventures locally and want to take a leap by staying put and enjoying no longer being in the rat race. I want to enjoy my life. Amen. So beautiful. Ariana says, I want to make time for walks near the ocean, strength training, sauna in the steam room, going to the beach and pool, spending time with friends. I want to take a leap by saving money at my new job so I can open my own esthetician business. Awesome. Esther says, I want to explore surrounding areas and places to hike, to make time for being creative and painting, to focus on my health and listening to my body, to try out horseback riding this summer, to take a leap by going to a new church. Oh, I love that. Noelle says to explore more free events in my community, to make time for taking Rusty on adventures big and small, to focus on what's going right now, trying out new fitness classes and maybe even couch to 5K. Take a leap by saying yes to me in this time of transition versus yes to everyone else. Yeah, we fully support you in that. Octavia says, I'm ready now to choose things that will shape me. I want to explore more restaurants in my local vicinity, to experience new vibes, meet people, and create memories, to make time for moments at home, yoga and weights, to focus on decluttering and minimizing more, to create more physical space. I'm not lacking anything. To try out swimming lessons this summer, take a leap by going car shopping, house buying, to be able to invite those into my life soon. Wonderful. These are great. Caitlin says, I want to explore new ways to move my body, make time for intentional morning routines, focus on abundance mindset and organizing my spending plan, try out deactivating social media, take a leap by finally planning my hiking trips to reconnect with nature. So good. Don't you guys just want to like copy paste all of these into your notes? Because I do. Kalina says, I want to make time for community and for people that truly make me grow, focus on my building my support system, trying out roller derby and enjoying the thrill of getting out of my comfort zone and having fun with it. Yes. Pam says, I want to visit Alaska for my son's 40th birthday, where my first son was born, and take all 3 sons and daughters, in-laws, and grandkids and have a wonderful adventure together. That sounds awesome. Mackenzie says, it's so fun to dream with you all. Totally, totally. All right. So now we're going to go into our, let's see, final exercise. How much time do we have? Let's do one more. Okay, we're going to do 2 more actually. We're going to squeeze them in. So very quickly, if you were to fill in the sentence, I'm so grateful I have the freedom to ... right? I'm so grateful I have the freedom to ... Slightly different than the previous exercise that we did, because it's like a different angle. So for example, I'm so grateful I have the freedom to begin again. I'm so grateful I have the freedom to change direction whenever I want. I'm so grateful I have the freedom to take up new hobbies. I'm so grateful I get to decide where to help and invest my resources for impact, my time and my funds. I'm so grateful I get to do exercise now that my broken clavicle is healed, right? So what are some things, very briefly, that you're grateful that you have the freedom to do? So we'll dive into that and then we'll go into our final exercise. The first thing that comes to mind. If you're still writing, keep writing. Danica says, I'm so grateful I have the freedom to learn about anything I could possibly desire and often for free. Yes. Cindy says, I'm so grateful I have the freedom to play and choose to procrastinate. My life was always so overscheduled. Pruning is real. I love that. Simplify, simplify. Esther says, I'm so grateful I have the freedom to be myself and be true to who I am. Sarah says, I'm so grateful I have the freedom to take my mom on a trip later this year to celebrate her 70th birthday. Awesome. Charity says, I'm so grateful I have the freedom to choose not to have children, though being child-free by choice is extremely isolating and always misunderstood. I can attribute my serenity and peace to that decision I made so many years ago. Yeah, everyone has a different path, right? Danica says, I'm so grateful I have the freedom to work from home. I know every day that it is a privilege and gift, and I feel so lucky to have such freedom in my time and my days. Amazing. Dee says, I'm so grateful I have the freedom to nurture deep, important relationships in my life. Wendy says, the freedom to enjoy life, to breathe, love, share, and grow. All experiences teach us the same lesson, to love yourself, to know and feel we are perfect as we are. 100%. These are beautiful. All right, so I am going to share the last exercise before it's too late because I really, really, really like this exercise. And I just wanted to squeeze too much into this class because I miss you all. So the question is, or filling in the blanks basically, 2024 so far has gifted me the following: the desire to blank, the clarity to blank, the determination to ... the knowledge of blank. 2024 has gifted me the wisdom to blank, a newfound appreciation for blank, right? So what are some things that 2024 has gifted you so far? So for example, I wrote the desire to live life to the fullest, like for real, not a bumper sticker thing, but like really, really live life to the fullest. Determination to no longer delay things or put things off, a newfound appreciation for my health, and the wisdom to always pray before I make decisions and before I plan my future, to, let God show me what he wants, for my life. All right, so we're going to spend the next couple of minutes. If you don't have to fill in all of them, you can also choose the ones that stand out to you the most, the ones that excite you the most, and then fill that in, and just feel free to share that in the chat. And if you have to leave, no worries, just let us know in the chat. We love you. We hope you have an amazing day. And just, yeah, so incredibly grateful to share this time with you. Put some music on. Feel free to share in the chat if you have written down any of those previous sentences. And thank you guys so much. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Pam. You guys are the sweetest. So, so, so grateful. So, so grateful. Hi, Julie. Oh, all right. If there's anyone who would like to share just the last exercise from the previous one, I know that we are on time. Octavia says 2024. If anyone wants to come and share on camera, remember it's our greatest joy to see your beautiful faces. So if anyone wants to share, you can feel free to click on raise your hand and we'll bring you on. But also feel free to share in the chat. Octavia says 2024 so far has gifted me with the desire to call in what I need, pray or manifested the clarity to know who is supportive and who isn't, the determination to not give up, but to keep working toward completion, the knowledge to speak so many situations, to speak to so many situations of injustice with the hope of healing, and the wisdom to know I will thrive and am loved. Amazing. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Mackenzie. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Galena says the wisdom to not wanting to control the water, but steering the boat through the storm to the best of my abilities, knowing that it will pass. A newfound appreciation for the friendships I have been nurturing for such a long time. Beautiful. Danica says, thank you. So great to have class with you this morning. And thank you all for being here. Likewise. Ariana says, thank you so much, Gabby, for an amazing class and friends. I feel so tingly and want to carry this amazing feeling throughout my day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Wendy. Oh, I love you guys. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I miss you guys too. You guys are the biggest gift. I'm gonna get emotional. No, you guys. You're the sweetest. Love you so much. Love you, love you, love you. God bless you all. I'm so grateful that we get to share all this together. It's just a complete joy and honor to get to do life together. So grateful for every single one of you. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for coming to this class. I missed you all so much. And I can't wait to see you again soon. I adore you guys. Have an amazing day. Bye, my love.